What's up, guys? So today I am in the STI, as you guys can see, and I wanted to make this video based on the title. As you can see, 2015 STI versus the 2016 Golf. I'm not doing this based on like performance-wise or anything like that. I'm doing this based off of just everyday driving, and how this car varies from driving the Golf that I do every single day. And it's funny because I'm not bashing the STI because I see people driving it every day. I know people that drive their STIs every day. I just can't do that because, if you guys know, this is my baby. This is my get in, and it's just like a different experience. And it is so different, and that's what this video is here for. So let's get started. Number one is comfortability. This car is very comfortable for an everyday driver. I would drive this car every single day. It's just I have that little niche. Like I said, I can't drive it every day because it kills me seeing that this thing is going to possibly, if I drove it every day, by the end of this year I would probably have anywhere from 55 to 60,000 miles on it, and that's killing this car. Yes, I know this car could go a lot longer than that, but it's just not meant for me to do it every single day because I would just be destroying it. And this was not just a car that was just like, oh, just get this car. No, it was a car that I wanted since I was only 10 years old. So to get this, it would just hurt me to actually do that to this car. Number two would be the gas mileage. This car is currently getting 23.1 miles per gallon on 93, which 93 in New Jersey right now is $2.48 because I just filled up. And again, is it bad? No, absolutely not. But again, I do 100 to 150 miles up every single day. So to that extent, it's pretty bad. And once again, it comes expensive. So, and it's not only just the gas, it goes into variable factors of other stuff. So, it just doesn't end there. It doesn't stop there. So yes, 23.1 miles per gallon on premium gas is pretty bad. But again, it's just because of the fact that I do 100 to 150 miles a day. If I went down the street, like I usually do, and I was just sat at an office all day, like I used to, when I was prepping this company, getting it all started, yeah, that's pretty explainable, and I would do it every single day, and I did drive it every day. So, but now that I do all these miles, I'm not going to put that car through that torture, and that is the reason why I bought the Golf. So that is number two. Number three is, without a doubt, the other maintenance that is included in this, besides the besides the gas, which is your brakes, your clutch, your tires, the list just goes on and on. I mean, we all know this. And with a regular Subaru, a Subaru Impreza, it's cheap. But when you got Brembos, when you got tires that are big, you got different sets of tires. You got your winter and you got your summer, because all seasons just don't cut it. I'm sorry, they don't. And more, it just adds up and it starts accumulating, and then it's just so much wear and tear to the car. So that is definitely number three. Number four is depreciation of this car. This car overall is a great car. It's one of the only cars I would actually buy and be happy with what the car depreciates, because it doesn't really depreciate. It's in such high demand. The car doesn't depreciate that bad. The Golf I did purchase. I didn't lease it, and that car, I don't know what the depreciation is like, to be quite honest with you. I don't know. I use it for traveling. I do the 150 miles a day. The car has 2,100 miles on it in the past 3 weeks. So I do a lot of miles on that car. So I will put all those miles on the car, and it's okay. That's perfectly fine with that. But for this car, again, year one, 60,000 miles, and year two, I'd probably have 120,000 miles on it, and I'd get rid of this car for what? I'd probably sell it for 20 grand. That's 15 grand. I mean, yeah, it's great. Is that bad? Is that a loss in the car? Probably not. You probably get a trade in probably for like 15 grand if I traded it in, 20 if I sold it on my own. But again, it's just, I don't want to do that to this car. Other people can, but that, again, this is just because I do so many miles. So that's number four. And number five has to be the absolute just personal for me, is just destroying the car. Again, year two, 120,000 miles. Year one, 60,000 miles. I do highway traveling. I'm gonna have stone chips, I have rock chips, everything. It's just, it's just gonna destroy it. I got this car for the fact this is the car that I take out on a day when I can take it because it's nice out, and it turns out to be a great day trip car, great fun car, track, do whatever you want with it. I mean, track's not gonna destroy it. You know, with whatever you want to do. I don't beat on this car. You guys know this. I don't beat on this car. I treat this car like it's gold, but that's just me. So those are the 5 things I could say about this car, why I don't daily this car. And now I'm going to compare it to the Golf. Thanks guys for watching. Stay tuned in a second.
Especially in the summer. So the line, you know, you're talking about the summer all year.
What's up guys? So I'm currently in the Golf, as you can see, continuing this wonderful video. We did the STI at first, and now we are on the 2016 Golf TSI. And you know, incomparable to the STI, starting off with the gas mileage, this car is currently getting 38 miles per gallon. That was just me doing 50 miles an hour. Now I'm currently stopped, but yeah, I mean 38 miles per gallon doing 50 miles an hour is great. You know, this is city driving now, so when I get on the parkway and I have it on cruise control and I have it set to 80, you know, and I'm getting also 38 miles per gallon, I think that's awesome. You know, just cruising down, set to 80 miles per hour, cruise control, getting 38 miles per gallon on regular gas. I mean, that's great. I filled up this car yesterday actually, and what was it? It was, I actually had 10 miles, the gas I was on, I had 10 miles left, and I filled it up on regular gas at $1.97 a gallon. I think it came out to like 23 bucks, I want to say. I mean, you can't beat that. The STI, if it has 10 miles left on premium gas, I mean, it's probably gonna cost upwards of like 32. Again, is it bad? No, but this car I get roughly around 500 miles on a tank. The STI I'll get around 320. So it's a big difference. You go through a lot more, as I touched on a couple seconds ago. But you know, this car is much different. The maintenance on this car is so much cheaper. You know, with the STI having the Brembo brakes, this just having regular brakes, regular rotors, doesn't need nothing special, doesn't need no special attention, doesn't need no special oil where it just needs to be like, oh, I gotta use this. Even though I will use the special oil, I don't need to use that. I have the leisure of doing with what I want. As you guys know, I do maintain every car as if it was like an STI, but it's just so much more cheaper. So, which is great. You know, it just makes life so much easier. This car also, I will like to note and say that, you know, me driving this car every single day, I get to write off my mileage with my expenses, and I get to pretty much make money, essentially. You know, yes, I'm outlaying the money for the gas every single month, but at the end, with all the miles that I do, I get paid per mile, and I will actually get pretty much my car payment and half of my car insurance paid for, which is pretty nice since I budgeted every single month for this car. You know, it works out in my favor, and I've actually contemplated going back and saying, why did I just get the GTI? You know, again, that's premium gas, and that's probably the reason why I didn't do it, but it still does get great gas mileage. I think same as this, like 38 miles per gallon, upwards of 40 if you tickle it. But, you know, it's just nice to have that extra wiggle room and you know, have this car. So that's great. So, you know, I have that. You know, the maintenance is cheap. So, you know, that's great. Depreciation goes, I don't know what this car is going to be like when it depreciates. All I do know is that when I actually inquired about a GTI 2 weeks after I bought this car, I will tell you guys, it was pretty funny because I picked up this car again for $16,900, and it blue booked and blue booked, I guess you would say, trade-in. I guess at the worst possible, how they do trade-in. If you guys are ever curious, they take your car and they say it's in the worst condition possible, and that's pretty much what they do. I worked in the car business. That's exactly what my car dealership did. They would say it was in rough condition, and then they give you that value, so they can make a little bit of money on your car at the auction. And this car came back at $17,000. So it was pretty funny that how I actually made $100 off of this car. But yes, I did lose out on the fees and stuff. But luckily, some of that, like the tags, get rolled over. But that's different. But you know, I did inquire about it back then. You know, I guess last week I did inquire about it. So we'll see. Who knows? Maybe there'll be a GTI in the future. You know, it's pretty cool. But do I love this car? Absolutely love this car. It's great. It's great for my family. Not that the STI isn't great for my family. Absolutely not. The STI is great for my family. But when you want that extra room, you want to throw a seat down, we need the carriage space. Yes, the STI does do that. But you know, it's always just like, oh, let me take the carriage out because I don't want you to scratch my rear bumper. you know, where this is just like throw it in, you know, it's whatever. If those dents were on the STI, I'd be crying. Where it's on this, it's just like shit happens. You know, just get it fixed. So that's pretty much it. I mean, I don't know what the car is going to depreciate like. Obviously, 2 weeks after it, you know, a $21,000 sticker car, I guess you would say, $22,000 sticker car is worth 17 grand when you drive it off the lot. But luckily, it's not that for me because I picked the car up for $16,900. You know, this car, like I said, I also touched upon is the fact that with the STI, it's my baby. This is my daily driver. I understand it's going to get dents. I understand it's going to get scratched. I understand it's going to get rock chips. It's understandable. It's a daily driver. It's meant to do that. But, you know, in the same respect, it is still the car. It's still one of my cars. It's still the second biggest asset purchase you will buy besides a house. A vehicle is that. So, you know, you have to take care of it because the better care you put into it is the more value you're going to get out of it when you sell it down the road. So I am always a believer in that, and that is exactly why I will always take care of this car as if it's like my STI, no matter what. So that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, this car gets great gas mileage. It is comfy as heck, I do have to say that. It doesn't have those racy bolster seats, which is, you know, they're awesome seats, don't get me wrong, but for the amount of miles, the 150 plus miles, I think it did 400 miles, like I said before, tops on this car in the past 3 weeks, you know, that's a lot of miles to be in those seats. You get out and your back starts to hurt. But, you know, for going to the office, like I mentioned in the STI video, going back and forth, it's the best car to have. You know, it's fast, it's great, and that's awesome. And it's not that this car isn't fast. This car has a 1.8 turbocharged motor, and it's got a little pickup when it picks up, but, you know, it doesn't have that 305 horsepower from the STI, opposed to this being 170. But, you know, with the 305, you get 23 miles per gallon, and with this 170, you get 38, and I think the best I got was 46 coming home from Maryland, actually. So 46 miles per gallon, you can't really complain about that on regular gas. So that's pretty much it, guys. This car is an absolute blast. It fits my family oh so well, and you know, I can't complain about this car. You know, if I could get a GTI, if it makes sense, the payments make sense, I will do it. I am just waiting till the end of the month to hopefully somebody calls me back and says, Nick, hey, we could do it for, you know, this payment, and then we'll go from there. So maybe we'll see another video of me go and pick up a 2016 GTI, trading this one in. Who knows? But if not, no big deal. This car is still great, and I'm thankful for it to be in my garage. Thank you guys for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe. Have a good one.